stuff, everybody. Welcome to the POVincent podcast here on the River's Edge Online Radio Network. I'm your host, Vincent Didiano, giving you my point of view on movies. And with me, of course, is my buddy, my pal, my comedic comrade, the human megahorn, Eric Williams. Eric, how's it going?
Pretty fucking good, Vincent. It's going all right. It's going all right. There's going to be performing artists staying at my house this weekend. They're like getting there now. You're making me be an awful host. You're a bad person, Vince. That was a good way to start the show. Just ridicule the host.
Hi, all new viewers. That's our first impression of me.
I'm the horrible person. That's why I call the host a horrible person.
Anyway. Well, everybody, it's another week of movie news.
It's not the same week. It's another week.
It's a whole new week.
It's like humanity keeps on going.
Yeah. But anyway, if you are, wherever you're listening to us on, if you're listening to us on the River's Edge stream or on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, or live streaming on Twitch, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate any viewership we get. And let's go do a quick overview of all the stories before we get into them individually. First off, we're going to be talking about Star Wars, the new kind of trailer, not a trailer that came out recently. I'll explain that later. Then I have to go on a little rant about something I'll say when we get there. After that, we're going to talk about a trailer Yeah.
Okay.
After that, we're going to get to a trailer for a movie called The Report starring Adam Driver. And then we're going to talk about the new and final trailer for Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and end the show off, of course, with a movie review of the new movie, Don't Let Go. But ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Star Wars again.
If you're going to make us, Vincent,
Yes.
We'll talk about a glorious, glorious first three movies. They just stopped after that, right?
Oh, yeah. No, that was it. That was the end of Star Wars. They made 3 movies. There were no more movies or cartoons.
Or video games.
That's just about where I was heading, right? I was literally about to say video games. But yeah,
How did Harry Potter get an amusement park before Star Wars?
I don't know. I guess it was just hot. Well, when you think about it, when they put that shit together, when people were thinking Star Wars, the whole prequels were still fresh in their brains. So that was like, what should we go with first? The thing we haven't fixed yet, or the thing that's still selling? We'll go with the thing that's still selling.
Good call. Yeah. Good call.
But this past weekend, ladies and gentlemen, Disney had its D23 Expo, which basically is Disney's big convention where it wags off in front of us to show off what it has. They released a whole bunch of new stuff.
Stick.
Yes. They released a whole bunch of new stuff, including stuff for the Disney Plus streaming service that will be coming out later this year, which we've talked about a few times. But the new shows such as She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, and Moon Knight, which already added to the list of other Marvel shows they got coming out, like Hawkeye, Loki, WandaVision, and the Falcon, and Winter Soldier. There we go.
Marvel Phase 5 just, hey, we're on television?
Half of it's going to be on television. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, they also, I do say ladies and gentlemen a lot. Somebody told me that recently. Was it you? Somebody said that.
It's true, but I did not call you out on it this time. I call you out on so many things.
I'm so fucking formal, Eric. I'm so formal.
Why aren't you wearing a goddamn tuxedo?
You know what the funniest thing was? I was going to start wearing like vests, and I bought one, and it just like, I couldn't button it closed. So if you see me out and about and I'm wearing an unbuttoned vest, that's not the look I was going for. That's the look I can achieve at the moment.
Oh, you're like the Incredible Hulk if you needed to die a little bit.
I stopped halfway. I got the bulk, but I didn't get all the coolness. Anyway. So they released this thing where it's like, it's technically a trailer, but according to from what I heard, Disney's not calling it a trailer. J.J. Abrams at the D23 Expo said, "Oh, we just threw this thing together just to give you guys something. So, sure, I'm going to call it a trailer. It's very trailer-like."
Can we call it a lost trailer?
Sure.
Yeah, just thing we threw together, whatever. Yeah. Kind of like the last 2 seasons of Lost.
So in the trailer, and really the first half of the trailer is just clips from all the previous films. The original 3, the prequels, the Last Jedi and Force Awakens. It's just clips with like narration from Luke. That's the same narration from the last trailer. And the whole first half of the trailer is just, remember the other stuff? Remember when you weren't that upset? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but you showed clips from the prequels. People were upset during that. Well, they were kind of. If you remember correctly, most people were fine with the prequels at first. This is as they went on, people started to develop, watch all, news reports that you can find online after people said they saw Phantom Menace. They were like, oh my God, it was so good. And now people look back and like, what was I thinking? What was wrong with me?
I mean, first of all, when we say look back, there's always a split. There were people that were like, oh yeah. There were also people that were like, did I just spend an hour and a half watching a fucking race?
Yeah. So, finally, when we get to new footage, it's a little bit, this and that. We see our group of heroes, Rey, Finn, and Poe, along with Chewie and 3PO. There's some kind of village or something in the middle of some kind of rocky desert area. It seems to be a celebration of some kind. Not sure. But fuck celebration. We got to get to the juicy shit that'll get people clicking. We see what seems to be what's left of the Rebel fleet. For anyone's about to correct me, I know in the new movies they're called the Resistance, but I see no reason to call them that. They're the rebels. They're using the same goddamn ships.
Empire, New Order, this is just some bullshit Roman Greek shit. It's like, no, it's still just Greek.
Yeah.
You can use the Roman names, but it's fucking Greek.
Yeah. I just never understood that. I never understood why they're not working with. They seem to be separate from the New Republic fleet. Why? You know what? That's a whole nother can of space worms, and we're not. But the next image is a really cool image that not the one everyone's talking about, but I want to talk about this right after we see what's left of the Rebel fleet, which is a dozen ships maybe. We see what appears to be an entire armada of Star Destroyers, dozens of them, but not the current model Star Destroyers, the OG Star Destroyers from the original films. It appears to be those models, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And then the next image is even weirder. It's C-3PO standing up, and he's got red, evil eyes. Okay, you guys, I see why we put this trailer. You're giving us a little something. You're getting us all the things that are going to make people talking. I see what you did there, Disney. I see what you did there, and fuck you. But the trailer continues. The next thing is a giant red laser smashing into what appears to be a mountainside. Rey's training with a lightsaber, and then on what appears to be some kind of wreckage in the middle of the ocean, which I think is probably, when we saw in the last trailer, that scene in it with the ocean, what appears to be the remnants of the Death Star. I think that's where this is. It makes the most sense. Big crashing waves in the ocean.
As you say that, I am noticing this poster we have behind us.
Yeah, it's in the new poster, which you haven't seen the poster. It's Rey and Kylo Ren fighting on some kind of looks like the edge of a cliff, but it's metal, so it's wreckage. And then you got Emperor Palpatine in the background, which I think I saw online that somebody compared that picture of Palpatine in the background on the poster to a picture of a new Palpatine toy. So some people are thinking they just took the Palpatine toy and just put it on the poster, and they just, did a few little touch-ups so nobody would notice. I haven't got that confirmed,
That's
but
pretty smart.
I just want to say it was funny. So anyway, Kylo Ren and Rey are fighting, which whoop-de-doo at this point.
Whoop-de-fucking-doo.
She beat him in the first one, which, a lot of people were upset about that. I give that one a little bit of lenience because a lot of people forget to point out that Kylo Ren took a bowcaster shot to the sternum. So I'm going to give him a little leeway on that. After they point out twice in that movie that Chewie's bowcaster is a pretty powerful fucking blaster. It's basically a shotgun and a high-powered rifle all in one. And so, but I'm not really excited to see Kylo Ren and Rey fight again because they fought in Force Awakens. They kind of had a little fight.
You don't want to see the rematch? Weren't you excited about the rematch? It's always about the rematch.
I hope she stabs him in the face. Anyway, so that's happening, and they're fighting, and you hear Palpatine's voice. It's like, you journey is at an end. And then we get to the juicy part, the part of the trailer everyone's talking about. Dark Rey is here.
Wait, what?
Yeah. See, Eric hasn't seen it. There's a point in the trailer where we see Rey in what appears to be dark Sith robes, holding a double-beamed lightsaber that she like unhinges and turns into like a double-ended one, like Darth Maul's. And a lot of people are going like, "Holy crap! Is that one fan theory about Rey turning evil and Kylo's going to turn good? And is this what's going to happen? Holy crap! Well, what does it mean? What does it all mean?" It's the part of the trailer everybody is talking the most about. Here's my 2 cents on it. Now, there's a few different theories going around.
There are theories?
Star Wars theories? Yes, I know.
What?
I know. Previously, we were not ever even supposed to think of possible theories, but times have changed, people. Nothing's changed. Anyway, so first obvious theory, which I think is the most likely one, is that what we're actually seeing here is some kind of force vision. Some kind of force vision that Palpatine is giving to Rey, or Rey's having, or is happening between her. Whatever, something's causing Rey to see an alternate version of herself in a vision where she went dark side. And I say this for a few reasons. When you look at her lightsaber, when you're watching the trailer, pause it right when you see her face close up and you see the 2 blades next to her face. Notice something about the 2 beam blades. They have like a fiery kind of, what's the word I'm looking here? Like a fiery kind of, I had this word earlier. I should have written it. But
Aura?
A fiery aura, kind of like a bristling, there we go, a bristling fire. Who's the only other person in the Star Wars movie canon that has a lightsaber with a fiery bristle to it? Kylo Ren's. Now people are asking, why is his lightsaber like that? It was confirmed later in like some kind of book or whatever. The reason for that is the kyber crystal inside his lightsaber is cracked, and that's why the beam isn't solid. That's why it looks a little like it's a little bit of flux. So I'm going for this is a force vision, because then the only other explanation is that Rey will kill Kylo Ren, and for whatever reason, steal the kyber crystal, his cracked, broken kyber crystal, out of his lightsaber to make her own, which I don't know why you would use a defective part to make yourself a new lightsaber. So I'm thinking it's a force vision of what could have been. That's what I'm putting my money on. A few other theories are that they're going to take from the extended universe books that were wiped from canon when Disney bought Star Wars, and what we're going to see is a Rey clone of some kind. That's another theory. And the guys over at Red Letter Media have also put out there that possibly time travel is going to happen and they're going to screw with everything. But I'm going with Dark Force Vision. I think that makes the most sense.
I have 2 theories here.
Go for it.
Okay, the first, real fucking simple. They go to the Dagobah tree or something that does the equivalent. So similar to what you... Not quite a force vision, but like that...
Force illusion.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, just like, when Luke was fighting... He thought he was fighting Vader, his head blows up, and it's him inside the Vader mess. Yeah. It could be that, too. I've heard of that one also.
Here's my second theory.
Second theory. Hit me with it.
Rey goes dark. She's got 2 lightsabers, puts them together, kills George Lucas and Mickey Mouse, and becomes head of the Disney Star Wars empire.
Disney grew too big. It was meant to fall to the dark side.
This seems logical to me.
They're just
first of all,
they're going to say, fuck it. Rey's going to use, because she's so powerful as a force, she's going to break a hole in the dimensional barriers, enter our world, and slay George Lucas, who no longer has any input on the franchise.
No, but it'll send a message to everyone. This is what you get for the prequels. You should have sold to Disney sooner.
Go, my new apprentice. Destroy George Lucas. Slay the mouse and take control of the new galaxy that's even farther away.
You didn't say slay the mouse and take the cheese? Come on, man. Come on.
I have enough cheese as it is. I am the emperor. I am cheesy. But I do it so good, and you Star Wars fucks eat it up. That wasn't me talking. That was the Emperor. Okay, I'm getting angry. I love the Emperor too. I'm one of those people that can agree. Like I have a lot of problems with the prequels, but Emperor Palpatine's still fun. He's just one of those characters. He's like we have so many villains in movies now that are the sympathetic villain. Like you understand why they're evil. You get they're still bad. You still want to see them get taken down, but you totally understand why they are the way they are. Palpatine, fuck that shit. Pure evil, and he loves every minute of it. I love it. Those kind of bad guys can still do a thing. They don't have to be killmongers, or they don't all have to be what's another good one?
When's the last time you watched The Professional? Gary Oldman. You just need to say Gary Oldman. I don't care if he's Sirius Black and Commissioner Gordon. He still and forever will be a bad guy.
Yeah. Lost in Space, remember that?
Lost in Space, The Fifth Element, Professional.
He's a good damn actor.
He's a damn good actor. Yeah. He's also Air Force One. He's the villain. Romeo. No, not Romeo Must Die. Romeo is Bleeding. He's a villain a lot. He's a villain the way Sean Bean dies.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got to say on the Star Wars trailer. If you haven't checked it out, I do recommend it. It's just fun to see all the little images in it.
It's not a trailer, Vincent. It's just a little something J.J. Abrams threw together.
Yeah. But since we're talking about Disney, let's talk more about Disney.
Since we already got in their dick a little bit, so let's just go full in.
I got to say this. I'm sure a lot of people have heard this. Not been talked about as much lately, but it was talked about for a long time. Superhero fatigue. That one day we'd reach the point where we just have too much superhero media and people will get fatigued by it, and all of a sudden there'll be a massive drop off in people's interest in superhero movies. So far, that doesn't seem to have happened. That doesn't.
But it's possible.
It's still possible. And I don't have superhero fatigue. At least not yet. Who knows? It could happen. But I'm still excited for superhero films, TV shows, whatever. I'm down for it. But I will say, I have a fatigue that I don't know if anyone predicted it, but I've got it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Disney fatigue. I am really getting tired about talking about Disney all the goddamn time. I can't take it no more. And I say this because here on the podcast, we've had to talk about Disney many times for many different subjects.
You have an addiction.
I don't have an addiction.
Yes, you do.
I'm trying to bring the news to the people.
You see, you say that, but you're like, here is my rant. My rant is that I talk about Disney too much. I don't want to talk about Disney as much.
I have to.
He says as he rants about Disney.
Disney makes everything.
They do. They
see this. For those of you not watching on the live stream or watching our upload to Facebook or YouTube, see this rubber band? You can't tell right now, but Disney already owns it. They got no reason to own it. They just want it. They're like, that's not ours. Let's make it ours. Because here's the thing. I say this because we talk about a lot of movie and film news here on the podcast. Is what we do, and I always post whatever topic we're talking about. I post to our Facebook and Twitter, so if anyone who's watching the show, you can click on the article or the trailer or whatever, and to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. And because the way, the internet works, I have to put hashtags on it. So I'm like hashtag movies, hashtag trailer, hashtag Batman, or hashtag Star Wars. And I'm doing hashtag Disney all the time. And I'm just, it's really getting to me. Because whether it's the Fox deal where they bought Fox, or Marvel, and now we got so much Marvel, and then Star Wars is Disney, and then we got the whole Spider-Man Sony thing that just happened. This is going to be the understatement of the millennia. Disney, I think you've overreached a bit. I think you need to pull it back. Because I'd like to remind people what Disney owns. They own so they just bought.
It's impressive. And
so let's go down some of this. I got this from an old article, but all is still relevant.
I'm gonna sum it up real quick. You can go to the breakdown, but if anyone's ever seen 30 Rock, it's like if they go into the breakdown about who owns 30 Rock, except Disney just owns all of the businesses.
Yeah, it's because they bought ESPN years ago. I always find that funny that they own ESPN. Why? I don't know. ABC, then their Freeform channel, National Geographic, as I just said, 20th Century Fox and all the things that come with it, Fox Sports and FX. Obviously, they own Marvel. They own Lucas. They got Pixar. And because they bought Fox, now they got the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. Hulu. They own Hulu. So whenever they don't put on the Disney Plus service because it might be too violent for Disney Plus, they put on fucking Hulu.
Do they own Avatar?
They own Avatar.
They own which Avatar?
Not the bending kind.
Okay.
The blue aliens.
The James Cameron-y
Yeah,
guy.
the James Cameron Avatar, because they have an Avatar land at like Disney World or something. It's a whole section with Avatar and stuff.
Shit, like, are those movies ever going to happen, or is it the last
working on them
two?
right now.
Are you sure they're the last two Game of Thrones novels? Because it came out like 15 fucking years ago.
It not 15, around we went over this recently. It was about a decade ago, 2009. Yeah, 2009. So no, they're working on them right now. Apparently, But I kind of want to avoid talking about Disney stuff, but I can't because there's so much movie stuff, especially nerdy things, and we're nerdy guys. I'm having to just fuck Disney. God damn it! Just stop buying stuff. Stop it. What more do you need? What are you gonna buy next?
They're gonna buy you, Vincent. They're going to buy you.
I wake up in the morning, it's got like a tattoo of a barcode on my back of my neck. Like, what the fuck is it?
No, it's gonna be Mickey's ass with a barcode on it, on your neck. Yeah.
Ew.
Oh, they're letting you know who's in charge. It's the fucking mouse, Vince.
God damn it, Disney. Anyway, let's go on to our next subject. This is I'm going to only talk about this one for a little bit. Let's talk about The Report. This is a movie coming from Amazon starring Adam Driver and a whole bunch of other Annette Bening's in it. John Hamm, who most people of course know from Mad Men. Really cool cast, and it's apparently based on true events where where a man named Daniel J. Jones, after 9/11, switched his major to government stuff because of 9/11, and he started working on investigating stuff. And he went into investigating America torturing Al-Qaeda captives and how it was all covered up and how deeply everything went. And I'm not going to go too much in the trailer because there's a little teaser trailer, not much to pull from it. But it just seems like such an interesting drama and thriller, and it's, this stuff was not too long ago. I remember, watching the news and talking about, we're torturing people? What the fuck? We do that still? I didn't know we fucking did that. And this is about, the movie seems to be about the cover-up that went into it and the legal stuff that happened. It just seems really interesting, and Adam Driver is a really good actor, and I'm glad to be able to talk about something that isn't him as Kylo Ren, so it's cool. And seriously,
you just had to bring Disney into it. You could have not mentioned it.
See what's happening? See what's got the Disney shakes. I got the Disney shakes. What they did to me?
I just need.
What did they do to me?
Just let me do a quick Donald Duck impression. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean something.
Yeah. So The Report seems like a really cool film, and I always enjoy trying to bring up other movies like this because, as I said, we're a bunch of nerdy guys. We tend to talk about like sci-fi, fantasy, that kind of stuff on here. But I'm still a lover of dramas and thrillers and just stuff like this, especially based on true events. And once again, it was a great cast in this film. Look at the cast list; a lot of good people in this one. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Hopefully, they'll come up with a full-length trailer. Full-length trailer sometime soon. Because once again, it's just a teaser. So ladies and gentlemen, keep your eye out for The Report, starring Adam Driver, coming to Amazon. But with that said, let's get to something more nerdy.
That was a quick one.
It was a quick. It's only a teaser trailer. Really not much to talk about in it. But ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the final trailer for Joker. As most of us know, Joaquin Phoenix was cast as the new Joker a little over a year ago now. And this is not the same Joker that Jared Leto performed as in Suicide Squad. This is a new Joker, and it seems to be an origin story for the character. We talked about the previous trailer on the show, but now we got a new one here, and apparently it's the final one because the movie's coming out like in a month and a half. So, The trailer opens with Joaquin Phoenix on the bus, and there's this little kid sitting in front of him, and he's making faces, and he's trying to make the kid laugh and stuff. And the kid's laughing. He's getting a kick out of Joaquin Phoenix's goofy faces. And it's like, it's cute, it's nice, adorable. But then the kid's mom turns around and is like, can you leave my son alone? And it's just like, damn, woman, he's just making the kid laugh. What the hell? What did he do? Like, I feel like in the movie we're gonna see a little. Maybe I'll be surprised. There's a little bit more like he's doing something he shouldn't be, maybe. But I don't know, because they play the character off as like he's like this very gentle kind of person, but he lives in Gotham City, so he's constantly getting shit on, right? And as the trailer goes on, and as we saw in the previous trailer, he goes to see a therapist. And we also see him doing his evil laugh, and he's got a good Joker laugh. I do like his Joker laugh. It sounds insane. It sounds like the laugh of an insane man. But I think he's doing the laugh because he does clown work, right? But it comes to this point in the trailer, the therapist is telling him like, I can't see you anymore, and he's like, and he goes off on her. You start to see the mean, the nasty coming out of him. And he's like, you don't listen to anything I say. You just ask me the same things every week. How's work? Are you having a negative thought? And he tells her straight up, you're not paying attention to me. I always have negative thoughts. And we see things go on, like he's transforming. As I said in the last trailer, you see the transformation into a monster. You see this guy who's already disturbed. He's trying to be a nice person. He's trying to be funny. He's trying to put joy into the world. But he lives in fucking Gotham City, and the world will not allow him to be what he wants to be, and it's just exacerbating his mental condition, and he's just getting worse.
Gotham City is also one of the worst representations of urbanization. Like, Gotham City is just a hood that a few rich people live in.
Yeah. I always thought it'd be funny if one day in the comics the government was just like, okay, Gotham, you're a lost cause. Let's just evacuate the city and nuke it. Let's just nuke Gotham. Let's just get it out of here.
That would be amazing, because that would pit the federal government against Batman.
Yeah. That's the movie I want to see.
Yes.
Batman v. Government. Dawn of what the fuck's about to happen.
You would get people of all political spectrums coming to see that film.
Oh, yeah. So now we see it in Robert De Niro's in the movie, but he plays like a talk show host, kind of like it seems like a Johnny Carson type, and he's got this late night talk show, and he plays a clip. Apparently, somehow he found a clip of Joaquin Phoenix doing stand-up comedy, and he does a bad joke, and he plays it on his show, and he makes fun of Joaquin Phoenix, and Joaquin Phoenix is so excited, like, oh my god, I'm on TV. I'm on the biggest show but you can see his face just like, he just got made fun of by one of like the biggest celebrities in town. And once again, it's the world beating this man who already has cracks in his psyche. It's just like smacking him and making the cracks bigger and bigger. And it gets me excited to see this movie because like his evolution from this like kind of weird guy to just totally disturbed monster. And we see things continue. We see like more and more, we see like images of people in the movie wearing clown masks. And there seems to be some kind of, I know it's going to sound goofy for Gotham, but some kind of civil unrest going on. And we see more and more him like starting the transform. There's this one scene where he's putting on his clown makeup, like the white makeup on his face, but he takes the brush of white makeup and he like brushes it down his tongue. And I'm like, oh. It's like I see that symbolically, and I could be wrong. It's him. He's not only like making the outside of him look how he wants to make the inside a little bit, maybe, or they're just like, what'd be really gross and creepy? Oh, paint your tongue. It could be just something more simple than that. But I mean, I could be looking too much into it. But yeah, we see images of him in the full Joker outfit, kind of dancing up and down these steps that keep popping up in the trailers. Hell, the new poster, if you're watching on the live stream or on YouTube, you can see the new poster is him dancing on these steps, descending into insanity more and more, I would assume. He has this one friend in the movie that I guess is going to be the girlfriend or love interest. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, she could be Harley Quinn, or I mean, because there definitely seem to be taking like an original, fresh take on the Joker's origins. And there's like riots going on in the streets with these clown mask people, and he seems to be. And there's a clip in the movie where we see Thomas Wayne, and the Joaquin Phoenix is just laughing in front of him and laughing and laughing. Thomas Wayne's like, "Do you think this is funny? Do you think this is funny?" And then boom, Thomas Wayne clocks him in the face.
How do we know it's Thomas Wayne?
Because I checked the cast list.
Oh, you clever guy.
Yeah. Originally, Alec Baldwin was being hit to be Thomas Wayne. If you don't know who Thomas Wayne is, Batman's dad. It's Batman's dad.
If you don't know who Alec Baldwin is, where the fuck have you been for like 30 years?
Alec Baldwin is obviously not, that didn't get cast. I forget what the actor, he's just one of those actors like you've seen in everything. Oh, fuck. What's this guy's name? Give me 1 second. He's
kind of memorable facey.
Yeah.
Muck Irish.
Yeah, no, that's, fuck it. Oh, whatever. He was Ghost Rider's dad in the Ghost Rider movie. That guy. We'll see. But yeah, so, Brett Collin. There's his name. But I'm going to be really interested to see what exactly was going on besides what was the situation that makes Batman's dad punch a guy in the face, because Batman's dad is typically portrayed as being very nice and gentle and pacifist, except for, Flashpoint Batman, because...
when he's like, I'll just use a gun and shit.
Yeah. If you don't know what I mean by Flashpoint Batman, I'm pretty sure we talked about on the show before regarding the possible Flash movie that was supposed to come out by now. In the comics, they basically did Back to the Future 2, but with the Flash. Whereas the Flash time travels and he fucks up history, and instead of Batman's parents getting shot and Bruce becoming Batman, Bruce gets shot and his parents live, and his dad becomes Batman and his mom becomes the Joker. I'll be interested to see what that scene is all about. Oh, you keep getting these scenes. Apparently, the Joker's a smoker. I didn't know that. I didn't know, because you keep seeing him smoke all in these trailers, and it was a cigarette. I think that's him loosening up. You see, like, I'm guessing the more he's going to smoke in the film, the more the transformation has gone forward. I really feel like he's like catching, like, you're not listening to me. I always have negative thoughts. Like, I feel like this is like the more he burns this, we see the cigarette burning, the more he's like burning. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
So you mentioned Flashpoint, and it reminded me. You were going over shows coming to Hulu, and you didn't mention fucking Marvel is doing a What If show.
That series is going to be a series of like what if scenarios. One of them is going to be like, what if Peggy Carter became Captain America?
Yeah, I mean, it's a famous comic series. What if? Like, I brought this up because Flashpoint was like, hey, what if we did a what if where it's just a whole alternate timeline where everything in it is just a what if?
Yeah. This trailer just seems really cool. I'm really excited for this movie because it's obviously not like the whole DCEU as we know it is done. Whatever was going to be Zack Snyder's vision for is done. In fact, this movie there's no indication so far as to whether or not this movie is part of that universe or its own separate thing. From what I've heard, it's separate. It's not its own thing. But then they could still surprise us with some bullshit right at the end of the movie. We see Ben Affleck at the back computer and he's looking at old files or some shit, which is highly unlikely because Ben Affleck's out unless they like filmed it like a year ago or something like that. But yeah, we see a riot in a subway. We see him in the Joker outfit and makeup, putting on a mask, and then at the end of the trailer, we see apparently he's getting on that late night show that Robert De Niro is the host of, and he's like in the makeup room, right? And he's got his Joker makeup on and all this stuff, and he's telling Robert De Niro's character like, "Hey, when you introduce me, can you introduce me as Joker?" And Robert De Niro and Mark Maron, I guess he's the producer or something, they look at him like, okay. And then the trailer continues. And we see the curtains open up after some more like Joker going crazy shit. The curtains opening up to the stage, and he's like, now the Joker's out to the world. So Some people have made comparisons to the scene from The Dark Knight Returns, where the Joker did go on a late night talk show and murdered a bunch of people. So it's gonna be interesting to see if that's what's happening. Is he gonna murder one or two people, or is he just making a huge statement to the world? What's this Joker going to do? Is this the Joker? That's another thing to bring up. Some people think this is not the Joker we know. This is some guy that called himself Joker and became the inspiration for the Joker that we're all familiar with, which is possible. They took that route in Gotham and never called the character Joker. They weren't allowed to. But in the Gotham TV series, they did have like one character who was basically the Joker, and from what I understand, he died at one point, and somebody else basically took over the mantle. I was one of those guys. I started watching Gotham, and I kind of fell out of it, so that's all I really know about that. But it wouldn't be the first time. I mean,
I haven't
recently.
kept up with any of the DC shows. I mean, I started watching Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow. I don't think I got past season 4 and anything. At a certain point, I'm just like, I'm trying to make rent, and I can't spend all my time watching television.
I know you feel, especially with those shows, because after the big, which we've discussed this on previously, the big crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Earths, after that crossover, several of those shows I'm going to stop watching. I mean, Arrow is going to its final season. Of course, I'll finish that. Supergirl, Supergirl's kind of like, to me at this point, so I'll probably stop watching Supergirl after the crossover event unless the new season really grips me. Flash is on the edge. I'm going to probably stop watching Flash unless a new showrunner can really change the show around, because the show's just so predictable and repetitive at this point. And just really just having their characters do dumb shit all the time. This past season, they had the Flash's, spoilers, daughter from the future. And she, like, respect to the actress, Jessica Kennedy Parker. Good actress, but the character was just annoying as shit. She just was. I'm sorry, Nora Allen, a.k.a. XS. She was just annoying because she was like...
Would you say she was excessive?
Yes! She was highly excessively annoying. She's like 27, but she acts like she's 15. She really does, man. I seriously, if you watch it, after a few episodes, you're like, wait, is she supposed to be a teenager? And then you do a little research on the Flash wiki, and you're like, no, she's 27. Why is she acting like this?
Have you not met 27-year-olds who act like they're 15?
But it's not like she's immature for her age. She just acts like a teenager. And I said this before. I think I've talked about this before on the show. I'm pretty sure I have. I think the reason they did that is because she's the Flash's daughter from the future, but Grant Gustin, who plays the Flash, and Candace Patton, who plays Iris West, the Flash's wife, and then you got Jessica Kennedy Parker, who plays Nora, their daughter from the future. All the actors are around the same age. In fact, I think Jessica Kennedy Parker is actually several years older than Grant Gustin or Candace Patton, but she doesn't look it. She does, they don't look like around the same age. So I think the writers wrote her with a teenage personality, so the viewers would still be able to see her as their daughter. But then it doesn't make sense why a woman in her late 20s is acting like, she's like I feel like any second she was just like, OMG, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of shit. But no, she would say, what was like the slang term from the future? She would always say, oh, I can't remember. What was it? Anybody watching, let me know it down in the comments. Shway. She would say shway. She wouldn't say that was cool. She was like, totally shway, because that's like that, and that's from the comics. In the future, the kids say that's shway.
You realize that just in the future, everyone says that's shway, because like
shway.
adults
So
say
shway.
what kids say. It's just a matter of proportion.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Well, I don't think I have anything else to say about the Joker trailer. Eric, do you have any thoughts you want to put down there? Are you excited for the film? Or
I'm interested. I'm excited, but I'm also...
cautious?
The most we've got is Thomas Wayne. Can you pull... Okay, we've been in an era of superhero movies. This is arguably I mean, yeah, there was Venom, but that's different. He's definitely an anti-hero. This is really the first villain movie we're seeing, and they don't have the villain's primary hero, or even, to the best of our knowledge, any hero in it. Like, I mean, I would say the best case scenario for this is almost like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, in that with this film, what can you really do more than a bunch of buildup and then a big explosion at the end? I mean, metaphor, but just something that, like, even though, because the resolution is going to be like, hey, I'm the Joker now. Like, I mean, this is, I don't know, this it's gonna be weird. It's almost gonna be horrorish because you said watching this regular dude is just a little weird. He's trying to be good. No, it's like if Mr. Rogers just like went all Ted Bundy.
Yeah. It'll be cool. I'm gonna be interested to see who does get killed. Like, I feel like his therapist is gonna get it. His therapist is really gonna get it. She seemed really unhappy with her in the fucking trailer. She's gonna get it.
I mean, Mark Maron and Robert De Niro are definitely dying. 100%. 100%.
I just vision, like, the therapist dying, like he's beating her to death, and he's like, how's your job? Do you have any negative thoughts? And he just repeats that over and over again. And then one thing that's definitely going to happen in the movie that you can tell from the trailers is, in the first trailer, we see his mom, that he takes care of his old, sickly mother. And in this trailer, we see she's in a hospital bed. So I know at one point in the movie, she's going to pass, and that's going to be the snap for him. That's going to be like, she's going to be his last, like, tether to his humanity. Even with this, like, romantic interest they have in the film, I feel like that's it. Because the mom always, like, he says in the first trailer, my mom always told me, like, to make the world laugh or whatever, or something like that. And so I think that's gonna be that's gonna be the moment we're waiting for in the whole movie. Like, not that I like to see elderly women die. I'm not saying that, but that's the moment I'm gonna be like, he's just gonna snap, where he has no reason to hold back anymore. So yeah, I'm excited for this because it's not gonna be your typical. It's a supervillain film, and not like we're gonna take over the world, and it's like it's not it's just a man descending into insanity and becoming the monster that society has turned him into.
Let's just hope it has a better ending than Glass. Well, I said my initial set, and I was like, Glass was kind of a supervillain movie.
Yeah, it was. But not a good one. I'm so excited for that damn film. Damn you, M. Night. You just had to pull at M. Night. What the hell?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
After
being watchable, he was like, I got you good, you fuckers!
I tricked you. I got Bruce Willis back, and you're like, oh, Bruce Willis is back. Okay, that's good. Okay. But time to get your movie review.
Here we go, everyone!
Let's talk about Don't Let Go. Don't Let Go is a crime thriller, fantasy? Not fantasy. It's I'll explain the plot. So,
Wait, but we have this weird theme where things happen in the set that, like, fit the movie that we're watching. You explain the film, and then I'm going to clue in the audience.
Okay. So the premise of the film is actor David Oyelowo, who most people will know for playing Martin Luther King in Selma, plays Jack Radcliffe, a police officer who's very close with his niece. And then one night, somebody invaded the house of his niece, killing her and her parents. And he's just left distraught with not knowing what to do. But all of a sudden, he gets phone calls from his niece from several days in the past. And through the phone calls and talking to her, he has to figure out who killed them and how to stop it from happening again.
First of all, I think it's about time they remake Frequency.
I was thinking about that.
As our viewers may see, we have headphones. What our viewers don't know is we are time traveling right now, much like our protagonist, because our headphones are playing what we said about 3 seconds ago, which is a little fucking weird.
Yeah, we sound like we have some kind of like I don't know, like we're
We've got an echoey voice.
Yeah,
Voice.
or like the gods talking to like a Greek hero. Perseus, I wish you guys could hear it right now. Perseus, you must slay Medusa. I wish you guys could hear it. It's just, this is all for us right now.
I didn't realize Greek gods just always talk like this.
They do. Slay the Jabberwocky. No, that's not Greek. That's not Greek.
Where the fuck did Lewis Carroll become Greek?
My show. I say he's Greek, goddamn he's Greek. But back to the movie.
Vince News.
Yeah. So the movie, once again, is about the niece Ashley is played by Storm Reed, who probably most people know her for A Wrinkle in Time, a movie I did not care for. Eric liked it a little better than I did.
I knew it was for kids, man. I'm not gonna order a Happy Meal and be like, oh man, they put a toy in it and the portions were small. Like, you know?
No, I get it. I'm just saying, kids movies, they can be criticized.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, if you like, if your little kid liked A Wrinkle in Time, good for them. I would just recommend you still show them better movies. Anyway,
What?
it's not a good movie. Sorry, we're not gonna get into it. We're gonna go at it.
Oh, better movies, not better boobies. That makes a lot more sense.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Better Boobies podcast.
Yeah, Vince is gonna start doing bench presses to get better boobies.
They're pecs, damn it, I'm a man. Back to the movie review. Don't interrupt me again. We're getting back to the movie review. You friggin' tangent motherfucker. There you go. All right, so now, this is, it's a mystery crime thing. You got that aspect of the how are they connecting? How is this happening? The movie kind of gives an explanation, which I'm not going to give away. It's not a big mind-blowing, like, oh, there was aliens involved, or I don't know, a wizard connected them, some bullshit like that. It doesn't go into that, because the movie's not a science fiction fantasy. It's a mystery crime thriller. David Oyelowo is a great actor, really is. He's pretty cool in this film. I remember a while back some people saying he should be the next James Bond, and I wasn't sure. But hey, in this film, he looks badass a few times, so I could see that happening now that I've seen the dude in action, because he's a cop. There's points in the film where he had to draw his gun and fire. But going back to his character, so the whole movie is revolved around him, Jack's relationship with his niece Ashley, and she has parents where apparently her mom's working all the time. And her dad is like he's not a bad father, but he's not always around when he should be. He's not a bad person, but he's like a little flaky or whatever. Now, the movie begins with us seeing Jack and Ashley spending time together just for a few minutes. And unfortunately, the movie gets off to a bad start with me, because they have this moment between him and Ashley at a diner, and they have this weird bonding moment that I was like, this isn't as cute and charming as I think they were intending it to be. Because we know in the movie from the trailer, he's going to find her dead and the parents dead, and this is where, the plot really gets going. But here's the thing, in order for us to get invested, I have to care about, and all audience, we have to care about the relationship between Jack and his niece. And unfortunately, this interaction really doesn't get me invested in their relationship. They seem to go through it too quickly, because a lot of stuff happens in the first 10 minutes of the film. Yeah, we're about 10 minutes in when the murder happens.
It's good pacing. That's good pacing.
It's good, but I think they should add just a few more minutes of interactions between him and Ashley, as well as see how he and Ashley interact with Ashley's parents, because honestly, we really don't see much of Ashley's parents till later in the film, when the whole him talking to her in the past is going on. We finally get to really meet them, because the first time we see them, they're dead. So I think the movie gets itself off to a bad start.
They're just Kevin Costner and The Big Chill.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing of the movie. You want to feel for this guy you want to feel for this little girl. You don't want her to die, and all over again, and you want him to solve the murder and figure out who did it. But unfortunately, they had to do a little bit better. I'm not saying they had to spend the first half hour putting the relationship together, but it's just they just had this awkward moment in the diner where they're drawing a picture and they're taking turns. It's just is this supposed to be cute? I just kind of bored. I just feel like I'm some creep watching a guy and his niece spend time together, but they're not really doing anything interesting. It's poorly set up. So yeah, they kind of rush into the murder too quickly without establishing a good relationship to make the characters, interesting or sympathetic.
So you're saying it felt fake. You didn't like it. Not a fan of the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, no. David Oyelowo continues on, and I do believe his performance when he's just like kind of distraught. This next part, I think I'm gonna blame on directing. There's a few moments in the movie where Ashley, played by Storm Reed, there's moments in the film where she's not terrified enough because he's got to talk to her on like their phone, however they're connected into the past, to have her get information. There's moments in the film where she's in danger trying to get information about the murder. And she doesn't seem as scared as she should be at times. Like there's multiple points in the film where she's riding on her bike trying to get away from something, and she doesn't look like she's pedaling that fast. She doesn't look like she's, like I want to see her like fucking Pee Wee Herman. Remember he was like fucking hauling ass on his like special bike. Remember in Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
I do. I actually thought you were gonna go with an E.T. or Stranger Things reference, but Pee Wee Herman works solid.
Yeah, but so I'm gonna blame this on direction, or I don't know, maybe Storm Reed isn't athletic and they just didn't have her pedal fast enough. I don't know, but it's like there's moments in the film. It's like you should look more scared.
We need a stunt biker. We need a stunt biker on scene 3.
Yeah. So that part was bothering me. Other things to go over are.
You do not seem super excited.
I'm not.
Really,
ladies and gentlemen.
I think you were actually more excited for Serenity.
Yeah.
And because that was one of those where you were like, and then we got to the spoiler part, and Vince, you were the 4th of July man, just bam, bam, bam. I was like, this is intense, Vince.
Yeah.
He has feelings.
Yeah. If you want to know if you want to experience what Eric's talking about, go check out an old episode of ours from earlier this year where I reviewed the movie Serenity starring Matthew McConaughey. Oh man.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
Don't watch the movie. Listen to the podcast. Save yourself the pain. Laugh at Vince.
Yeah. Another thing is, and this happens with any movie that deals with like time travel or time displacement.
You take a risk. You take a huge risk.
Yeah, because there was a part of the movie where something happened and I wasn't sure what was going on, and I'm like, wait, what's happening? Where is he? What happened to all the blood? Where'd it go? I'm like, what? Wait, what's going on? Like, there's a moment where like it took me a minute to like, oh, okay, I see what's going on now. Like, it wasn't like, because remember, he's not time traveling. He's just connected to the past via the phone. And then something happened, and I'm just like, okay, I'm starting. It took me a minute to reset here. But there was a solid couple minutes where I was like, right, in movie time, 2 minutes is a lot, right? And 2 minutes is a lot. This movie's like just 10 minutes shy of 2-hour mark. Let's say 15 minutes if you don't include credits. It took me a second. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm back in. I understand what's happening. I get it. Other thing that bothered me about the film is like I kind of figured out who the villain was. It's another one that's like I talked about this on last week's episode. Like the villain was it's gonna be them. It's totally gonna be them. It's like why did you like. I hate that. I hate when I figure out because then it didn't like
a lack of misdirection.
Yeah, lack of misdirection. There was one. It did have one little surprise where I saw where at one point in the film I was like, oh, okay, you, and you, and like, no, oh, all right, no. There was one slight misdirect, but the other one I was like, yeah, definitely, and I hate that when it's like on a crime mystery or any kind of mystery, and I figure out who the bad guy is when it's like it's like and then when the whole like scheme is revealed, like who the killer is, why they did it, what was involved, and why
your
they came...
payoff moment. Okay, so we discussed some more into horror movies, but I'm a procedural murder mystery junkie, and the big reveal. I mean, it's always a thing in theater, but like that has to be like bow rap, bam, oh my gosh, bam, woo!
Exactly, yeah, and I am confused for a second. Okay, wait, so you killed them because... Oh, wait, what? I'm getting confused here. Oh, okay. Oh, Okay. I'm on board now. I'm on board. It was like there was a kind of like I feel it's something about the editing. I want to say that was like, and here's the thing that bugged me. And this really isn't a spoiler, but it's something that really bugged the fuck out of me. Okay, so in the movie, Ashley and her parents, they're killed via a shotgun. That was a weapon used by the killer. They get killed with a shotgun. Here's my problem. It was still technically daylight out when the murder happens, and they don't live in a house like in the middle of nowhere. They're in a neighborhood. They have neighbors on either side of the house. No one heard the fucking shotgun go off because in the movie indicates that nobody knew they were dead until Jack Radcliffe, the uncle, goes to the house to check on Ashley because he got like a weird phone call from her, and he tried to call her back, but she didn't pick up the phone. So the movie indicates that nobody knew they were dead until he got there. But I counted, the shotgun gets fired 5 fucking times on top of the dog barking. The dog barks on top of Ashley screaming for her life. Nobody heard any of that? You didn't hear a dog losing his shit. I can excuse the dog. Dogs bark. What the fuck ever. You didn't hear a little girl screaming at the top of her lungs. And you didn't hear 5 shotgun blasts going off. Nobody heard nothing. Nobody called the police. Nothing. Not even a tweet like, nothing. There's scenes in this film where it's like, I don't think they thought it out.
Maybe their neighbors were all on oxycodone. There's like, something might be whatever.
Yeah. Every house that was in the sound range of a shotgun, they were all on oxycodone.
It's an epidemic, man.
Or everyone had their headphones on. They were like, and they were like listening to some gangster rap, like, yeah, shotgun, bang, bang. Right as it went bang, bang in the song, the shotgun went off. It was unfortunately timed for the family of Ashley.
I was thinking if you're doing that, you need to have them like, oh yeah, in the factory that's right behind us.
Yeah. So
you would never hear it if we got shotgunned to death.
And on the live stream, I want to thank Liz Victory for tuning in to our live stream. Liz Victory has been on the show a few times, good friend of the show. Thank you, Liz, for tuning into the live stream. So, yeah, here we go. I don't have a lot of good things to say about the film, obviously. The acting was pretty good for the most part. There was, like I said, there was kind of one misdirect that kind of got me, but one I was like, nah, yeah, that's what it is.
Sounds like they needed a better script.
Yeah, there were some weird dialogue moments too, 1 or 2, not a lot, but yeah. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to give Don't Let Go a recommendation. I didn't know what to think of this movie going in because it's like summer's over. We're past all the blockbusters at this point. We're in that weird space between like summer blockbuster time and the movies that'll carry us on. But yeah, unfortunately, I cannot give a recommendation of this film. It's just not. It's not really good. It just it's not horrible. It's not frustrating, but it's just like I feel like between directing and the script, there was like a lot of things that were just not really thought out as well as they probably were hoping. And the movie ends abruptly. It has like this really weird abrupt ending, and just like, oh, the credits are rolling now. Oh, okay, cool. I guess I can leave now.
Our viewers, Vince is saying, let go of Don't Let Go.
Yes. So yeah, no recommendation for Don't Let Go. Don't bother with it. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this week's episode of the POVincent podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and I'm going to start using the YouTube channel again. I wasn't sure because a lot of controversy on YouTube here and there, but I will start uploading to YouTube once again. But yeah, follow us on all our social media. Thank you all for tuning in once again. No matter whether you're listening on SoundCloud, River's Edge Stream, Facebook, whatever, Twitch. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate every view we get, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Take it easy.